This is King Bo Christ, and you're now tuned in to the I Say That to Say This show. All right, we're on. Beautiful people. Welcome to episode 26, I think. Just smiling. I feel like shit just got real professional. I got my man here, Miguel. I've known you, how long?
Maybe 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. I met you at the Plattdeutsch, which is a German bar and grill. We
had some debaucherous moments,
to say the least.
Yeah.
You don't know the world until you worked in a bar for more than an hour, and you're like, damn, like this is what I look like here.
Yeah.
But I wanted, like I was just saying before we started the show, I wanted to get you on the show because I didn't realize how spiritually in tune you were, and that was one of the first things I wanted to bring up. That when I met you, I was doing security, you were doing bartending. Mm-hmm. First of all, how'd you get into bartending? Can we start there?
Sure. So originally at the Plattdeutsch, the German bar, I was doing catering. I quit. And then, remember Christian? You remember Christian?
Yeah.
He called me back. He's like, hey, we need a bar back. We're opening up the new beer hall. You want to do it? And at this point, I was like, my pride was kicking in. I was like, I'm never going back to the Platt. But I couldn't find a job. So then I was like, oh, fuck. All right, I guess. The money's better. And then 2 months later, he's like, find a replacement to be a bar back and you're a bartender.
Shit.
And that was that. But I didn't know shit.
So
I just like,
from the ground up.
I was just winging it. Jack and Coke, how do you do it?
Okay.
And now I'm like, that's funny because now I was actually bartending in Montauk this summer, which is like, one of the higher end places to work. It was at Gurney's, like the Hamptons and all that. And it was just, top notch bartending. With that on the resume, I could probably get a job anywhere now.
Nice. So did you like grow to love it? Or was it just like the money?
There at Gurney's?
I mean, just bartending, period.
Yeah, actually, I do enjoy it a lot.
Because you are a people person.
Yeah. I like talking to people. I like making drinks. And I like, like having people try a good drink,
Sure. And I was just going to say that. You had this fucking drink you used to make me. I forget what was in it. See, during the time I was raging alcoholic. Yeah. But, it was manageable. So when you're under 30, it doesn't count. But I don't know what the fuck was in this thing, but I would drink like 5 or 6 of them and have to sleep in the car. Like after my shift, like, shit. I'm like fucking with Miguel. You and Kareem. Kareem had the Cream Dream.
The Cream Dream.
Which,
And Mike named my drink the Coyote.
Oh, it was the Coyote. But that was a little due to racism.
Yeah. He said, you're Mexican. Let's call it a Coyote. You got those in your desert, right? And I was like,
oh, okay.
I guess that's the name now.
That's pretty funny. Big shout out to Mike. He just got married, actually.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah.
Congrats.
But
wait, is it to that? It's not to that girl.
Not
right?
a dude this time. It was to a girl. Yeah. But now I know Mike was like, "What the fuck, bro?" Like, but you know what's funny? It's funny to bring that up. Also, I got a serious question for you.
Okay.
Like, see, we're in a fucked up place politically right now. Mm-hmm. So now when your friends make jokes, like, you don't really know who's who now. Like, now if you see a dude who's like, you want a fucking grape soda? Like, and now you're like, come on, bro, don't do that. Like, before it may have been funny. Like, we may have laughed. Like, when we first met, you may have been like, ha, ha, like that. But I got a serious question. Like, did you ever think, like, all right, that was really racist?
Yeah, a couple times.
Did you really? Wow, yeah. I feel bad now because
wait. What do you mean in terms of?
I mean, like when Mike and myself, this security guy.
I thought you meant now. Ever since this recent shift in the country.
I guess that's basically what I was saying. Like
since then, yeah. But back then, no. I mean, I used to be super sensitive towards it, but I was super sensitive towards everything. Sure. People would get under my skin, and they would just get a kick out of it, and I would just give them all the power by doing that.
That's why I asked, because we used to just fuck with you just because it was funny, because you get so emotional about it.
Yeah.
But that's why I have to ask, because you're looking in hindsight, and you look back and you're like, damn. Like, I think about the political climate then, and I'm like, like, I wonder if that was fucked up. Like, because you joke, like I said, you joke. But now, like, all that is off the table with where we are. And we said before this we weren't going to talk about Trump, so we're gonna try to dance around it. But I just had to ask if you felt like that was a little like, 'Cause like even the Coyote,
Yeah.
Like, at the time, what the fuck was that movie we always used to quote? Was it Goodfellas? We're like, get your shine box. Yeah, like I thought that shit was like that shit was just hilarious. And then, like, cause you're a cool dude, so it was just funny. Like, and if it was me, like, well, I don't know what my thing was, but I think that was probably going bald. Like, that was just my, like, hey, the light's hitting your head a little funny tonight, and it was just funny. Like, you don't care. But then that leads me to my next thing with insecurities. Do you think, like, I think that's where we are now. I think that's with the internet and everything, people are almost masking their insecurities with just shit, just anything. And that's why I think the moral ground is a little shaky right now, because it's everything. And we before it was a joke. Yeah. Not really. See, that's why I don't want to call it a joke, because, like, I feel like now it's not funny. Like, I feel like now if someone said that to you, even a friend, like, if a guy, and I don't want to, like, pick on Mike, but it's just a name. But, like, if Mike said it and we're all friends, like, I'll be like, bro, no.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised, because, like, now everybody's so sensitive towards, these kinds of things. Like, say you made a joke towards me that I'm Mexican, and I wouldn't feel any type of way, but somebody right next to me who's not Mexican would jump in, like, for me.
Right.
Getting offended for me. And it's like, yo, he's like my friend. We joke all the time.
Right.
So it's actually now a breath of fresh air where people don't have to, like, walk on eggshells.
True.
I could still make jokes. Like, I deliberately go out of my way to make jokes to my black friends just to, like, get a kick out of them.
And I was saying that also on, like, to another friend of mine. I'm like, racism is supposed to be funny in 2017. Like, it's supposed to be, like, so far behind. Not behind. I get it's not going anywhere, but amongst friends, it's supposed to be like, haha, and move on. But now you're like, all right, you could be like an undercover Trump supporter.
It's messed up. The Asians are really good with it, though. They could take a joke.
Can they?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
from what I've noticed.
I have a couple Asian friends. It's funny, and it was due to a little bit of ignorance on my part. But you just assume like Korean, Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm like, so not the same shit, but you're like, like what could be the difference? But they're like a lot. You know what I mean? They're looking like, are you fucking Jamaican? No, you're not. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay, true. So, I mean, I know like one Asian that can drive, and he admits it. But other than that, like, like he just, I don't dance with things I don't know. Like, I'll make fun of, like, I have Spanish friends I've grown up with, so it's the cultural things you can make fun, but with like another race, I'm like, I don't, it'll just come off as racist.
One of the most racist things that's happened to me is, and this was like, high school, like, before any of this bullshit nowadays, this girl, like, she was like, I think she was like Brazilian, Portuguese, like, Latin, but, not exactly Hispanic. And like, she was talking to me, and like, I think she was like, she was feeling me. And she's like, oh, Miguel, what are you, Spanish? What are you, Colombian, Puerto Rican? That's sexy. I'm like, oh, I'm actually Mexican and Salvadorian. And she was like, her face dropped. She was like, you're that dirty Spanish.
No!
Dude.
No.
Dude, yeah. She's like,
that's fucked
those
up.
guys are whistling at 13-year-olds off their truck. I'm like, but, like, I'm not.
Like, I was just
not
cool 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. And those dudes are Guatemalan. I didn't do that. It's not me. I didn't know how to take that.
That's fucked up, though.
I know.
That's fucked up.
If I was like Puerto Rican or Colombian, it would have been fine.
So from there, was she like, no, I'm good?
I was more like that after that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I guess she was too, with that statement.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty out there to just be like, too bad. Like, nah, that's fucked up. I actually had one of my like first blatantly racist things happened to me this year. Right on the corner when you're coming down my main street, Manor Haven. I was going to see that's the fucked up shit. Like, it's almost funny because it's like unbelievable. But I went into a barbershop. I was going to get my head shaved, and I walked in. It's a Spanish barbershop, so everyone like speaks Spanish, and I knew I like walking in as a black guy. Like, it's just that awkward like moment. To be honest, like, I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't exist. So, because I know I can't walk into like one of those white barbershops, they'll be like, "Come on, bro." Who you? But anyway, so I walked in, and the guy in the chair was like, "Oh no," I was like, "Hey, who is next?" Like, and it was a couple people that I felt like no one was paying me any attention. So, like, the first guy that made eye contact with me was in the first chair. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you guy." And the guy in the chair, Spanish dude, turned and he was like, 18. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, 18 people. And I was like, "Oh yeah, where are they?" Like, trying to be funny, and he was like smoking blunts in the back, and I was like, oh, I see what this is. Like I was just like, oh. And like the old me would have been like, yo, motherfucker, you at it. But like I was just so like, wow. Like, oh. I was like, all right. Like,
it's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, like I was just like, okay. And I didn't even have a smart ass comeback for him. It really threw me for a loop because I was just looking at him like, oh, you're dead serious. Like smoking blunts in the back, that's pretty straight to the point, bro. I see what you're doing here. So then the barber was like, oh, I just too much. And I was like, no, I'm good, bro. And I just left. But I was just like, damn, like that's what it's come to? Yeah. Like, that's fucked up. I thought we all live in the same neighborhood, bro. Yeah. Like, what?
But he's a Spanish guy. It's like, you think there's some solidarity there. You're both...
You know what?
Going against the
that's
white man.
That's what I thought. Like I'm like, all right, like I thought we live in the same neighborhood, but okay, bro, like you say so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I guess
that's funny though, because a lot of like, Hispanic people and Indians, Middle Eastern people, they try to distance themselves from Black people, even like Dominicans who are straight, Black.
True.
Like, you're Black.
Same island.
Yeah.
As Dominicans and Haitians. Like,
but like they like go so hard. I'm not Black. I'm Dominican. Like they try to distance themselves. And it's so weird. But I think it has to do with like, they don't.
It's America.
Yeah. Like they don't want. They don't want to. Yeah. They don't want to be put all together. Because of like what the Black community has gone through, like they're like, no, we want our own story.
And I guess if you come here to this country as like an immigrant, and to be honest, you do have a choice to make. You know what I mean? So I guess if you're gonna come and be new to a land, and you feel like, all right, wait, the Black dudes are getting shit on, like I don't want to be one of them. Yeah. So I guess you make that choice and go to the other side. But I think that's what's fucked up, because it's like, yo, bro, like, like when I hear like the fucking build a wall, like I'm like, what for what? Like,
and that's the problem. It's like you don't want to be marginalized with these people, but trying to please that other, community, they're still not going to accept you.
Sure, 100%.
They're not going to accept you either way.
100%. And I look at that like I was on a cruise where I got these lovely bottles of white Hennessy, and it was so many fucking people from the South. We left out of New Orleans. Okay. There was so many people from the South. So what's on a cruise? We'll just say 3,000 people to throw out a number. Say 1,000 people, just make it easy for the listeners. I said to myself, we were like, me and my wife were the only people from New York, basically, that we ran into. Everyone's from the South, and I'm like looking at these like fucking hillbilly white dudes, and I'm like, don't fucking tell me that none of you motherfuckers are supporting a wall. I find it very interesting that you want to take a cruise to Mexico and go and fucking take some pictures and come back. Like I'm looking at all the people, and I'm like, it's no way in hell that none of these people were like Trump supporters or any of that. And I think I'm like, see, this is what's fucked up. Like people just want to hate. You know what I mean? They just want to spew negativity, and then we can all get along. Like we didn't grow up together, but we can sit and have a conversation. I would never be like, I just fucking hate Mexicans. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, and if someone said that, I'd be like, you're just fucking ignorant. Like, build a wall. Like, why? What? How is your life going to change? If if an immigrant is coming here and taking a job from you that you feel like you can't get, it's you, bro, because you've been here your whole life. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So,
and if people want to get here, they're going to get here anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not supposed to go to Cuba, but it happens. You know what I mean? Like, you can get here. You can go to... Anyway, before we head down this fucking disastrous road of politics, because I knew this was going to happen, like you were saying with, like, trying to blend, that Dove... You see that Dove commercial? The Dove...
it was taking her shirt off.
Fucking just going crazy about. Did you actually see the entire ad?
Not the... I saw a clip. The clip that shows what really happened instead of the two pictures side by side that like...
Right. And that's also what I thought. I'm like, see, this is where it's fucked up. Everybody wants to cry wolf, and that's like the other side of it. I saw when you first see the screenshot, like I saw it, and I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, that's fucked up. I didn't go crazy because it's just it's the picture and it's the internet. Like, I'm not even sure if it's real. You don't know. And then I saw that. I saw it was, I forget. I think it was a white woman. She took her shirt off, and it was a black lady. She took her shirt off, then she turned white, and then the white chick took her shirt off, and she was a Spanish chick. And I'm like, and once I saw that, I'm like, oh, This is a fucking
Yeah.
it's a Dove commercial, and everybody and people we're still trying to reach like, no, this is whitewashing, and I'm like, see, this is why none of this shit.
Some people just like want to stay a victim.
Yeah,
I've had this actually. You remember Marcus?
Yeah,
Marcus,
yeah,
right?
actually.
He had some racist shit happen to him at the Platte once too.
I'm sure.
But yeah, like I was having this conversation with him how, some people like allow things to really get them worked up or, keep them down because, being a victim is easier than, fighting for yourself and getting what you want. It allows you to coast and remain mediocre or like, just have something to complain about.
I totally agree with that. And I when I talk to people, like I talk to black dudes and whoever else, and they're like, yeah, in a white man's world it's hard. I'm like, bro, nobody. I mean, don't get me wrong. Racism still exists. It's here. And sometimes when I'm talking to people, if I'm talking to a dude my age, and he's like, yeah, it's hard to get a job. There's moments where I feel like he's right. But I don't want to fucking green light that victim mentality. Like, sometimes I'm just like, nah, bro, but you still got to push forward. Because you do. Like, what am I going to say? Like, yeah, you're right.
Because you give them power if you don't.
That's what I say. Like, you sitting home and complaining isn't getting us...
Yeah.
It's not getting any better that way and just saying like, oh, well, this is just a system. So I'll just sit home and be miserable.
Yeah.
And
you're putting yourself in that box. They want you to.
And I know it's easy to say. And people, like, they're like, oh... it's easy for you to say if you grow up in a certain place, and it's just like people come from other. Are your parents from here?
No, they're both immigrants.
That's amazing. Did you come to like Long Island first, or?
Yeah, my dad spent time in like Texas and California, and then New York, and then my mom was in the Bronx.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, they were like Queens in the Bronx, and then when they finally got together, they moved to Long Island.
Oh, they came separate? Like, they didn't know each other?
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't know each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably not cool. It's cool to me because I know you. Like, oh, what the fuck's the chances of that? Like, that's cool.
No, it is. It's a cool story because, like, my dad's a singer. He's
nice.
Like, he's been doing it all his life. He's toured around the country, Latin music, salsa, merengue, all that. And like my grandma, she was managing a restaurant in the Bronx one time. My mom was waiting tables there. My dad's band performed. They met, and then it was like, one of those stories.
That's a true Hollywood love story there. Yeah. So that leads me to that's a good segue to you going to pursue acting. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's like in your genes?
I really do. It's cool that you bring that up because like that's been on my mind lately. Because like my dad, like he was gaining like a lot of ground with his music, and then all of a sudden like he had 4 kids in a matter of 5 years, and and then it was just like really hard. He was like down on himself.
Kids are a
like,
blessing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but,
no, he definitely loved us, but like looking back, things I noticed as a kid that I didn't understand. Now it's like, oh wow, he he loved us. He didn't resent us for it or anything, but I could definitely see where his downfall started and how he started to, really stop being a father and stop being a musician and kind of went into this like really bad, purgatory and like where nothing happened. And that led to them splitting. But, like I feel like I'm very similar to him in that way. And I feel like I'm in a better place now because I'm not having kids or getting involved with women that are going to hold me back in this career. And it doesn't always happen. Some people actually get more inspired when they are with a woman or have kids. But it just there was
my wife definitely inspires me. But there's been relationships where it's not going to flow like that. And it's crazy you say that. That's the same thing that happened. My dad was into music also in his early teens, and then he fucking started having kids. My dad has 8 kids. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he was going crazy in the 80s, I guess. But, it was the same thing. Like I never, I'll be 30 next year. I never sat down and really had we talked about it a couple of times, but we never had a real conversation about like, if you ask him like, why'd you stop doing music? He's like, I had kids. But he never like opened up about it. So I know he's thinking like, damn, if I would have done things different, but you're not going to regret your kids, but. Do you feel like you're continuing you're doing it for your dad, or is it just like you're gonna do you? He's gonna be proud of you no matter what.
I think it's a little bit of both. Because my siblings, are not fond of my dad, and they have good reason to. I have good reason to too, but I'm a little more forgiving than them. Sure. I kind of I could see where he's coming from. I've had conversations with him where we both put everything on the table, but my siblings refuse to do that. But I just, I really do want to do it to make him proud. That his dream is still alive.
Sure.
You could live it through me.
That's awesome.
And and I wish I could do music and sing too.
Dude, they got auto-tune and shit now.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I've been practicing singing too, along with the guitar. I actually make some beats as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going all the way.
Yeah, but I do that for fun. Acting I take a little more seriously. But if somebody was like, "Hey, do you wanna jump on this song with me?" I'll do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I remember when I first met you, you were a model. And we used to make fun of you for it, obviously, because that's what you do when your friend tells you he's going to be a model like that. But what made you want to take it serious? Because you have good pictures, no homo. Pause. You got to say pause. I guess you can't say no homo because that's ignorant, but you can. Pause is always valid. But you have good. I see pictures on the gram, and I'm like, oh shit! This guy looks like a fucking Abercrombie model. It works. So what made you pull the trigger? You know what? I'm going all the way.
It's a sort of long story, but it's definitely...
This is I say that to say this podcast. Nothing is a long story.
It's a really good story. So, I might reveal some shit that might lead to me on TMZ, but whatever.
Uh-oh.
So,
now you're talking.
So, I'm 18, right?
Right.
I've thought about modeling, but never knew how to get into it at all. And my best friend, he started doing it a couple months earlier. And he was getting some good recognition, working with these people. And, I'm in Arizona State, my first semester of college, 2 or 3 weeks in. And then some agent hits me up on Facebook because he saw me through my friend's page. And he's like, have you ever modeled before? I love your look. I want to see what we could do. He's like, I'm this and that. My name's Nole Marin. I'm like, huh, that's cool. He's like, you ever heard of me? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I was a judge on America's Next Top Model. And I'm like, what? And I look him up, and it's legit. And I look at his page, and he's a real dude. It's not like some catfish.
Blue check mark, he's verified.
Yeah. So, this was before.
Right. I know.
But he was real.
The real guy.
So then we talked for a week, and this is late August, and then this is back when fashion week in the city. Right. A couple years ago, they toned it down. It's not as cool as it used to be, but around that time, it was still crazy, fashion night out, all these huge parties, the streets were blocked off. And he's like, listen, I really think we can make something work. I want to fly you out to New York. And I'm like, okay, I've been talking to this dude for a week, never modeled before, first semester of college, all the way across the country. So he flies me out. And he, I land, I drop all my stuff at his apartment, and then we go to all these red carpet events, all these dinners with all these high-end people. He's getting interviewed for these TV shows, and I'm behind the camera watching. I'm like, oh shit, this is
this is real.
This is legit. And I see all these models, it's crazy. Mind you, I had braces at the time. I had braces till I was 21, and I was just like, what am I doing here? And he's like, you're gonna be the next big thing. You're gonna be the next underwear king. I was like, whoa. And I'm eating it all up. And, the night goes on, whatever. It's over. It's fun. And we go back to his place. And then, and then, yeah. And then I'm starting to realize, what I'm doing here. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm his boy toy. Oh, my God.
Yo, this is a crazy
So before I even fly out,
it's funny that I said pause before this. Also, let's make this even better.
It's what happened. So then, even before I flew out, I told my friend, and he told his manager at the time, who's actually now my manager, and he warned me. He's like, this dude, he's legit and everything, but
Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, yeah. It's funny you bring that up. So I was like, yo, who are you, Mr. Manager guy? This guy's on America's Next Top Model. I'm going with him. I don't care what you have to say. But I should have listened. So then he starts getting real creepy with me. He's like,
so it's just the two of you,
just the two of us,
and you're a fucking 18-year-old kid.
18 years old.
Wow.
And he's like showing me all this like money and all these models that work for him and all the shit they're doing. And he's like, in this industry, you got to give to get. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. So then like, I just played dumb. Like I was just like, I was like, listen, like I don't, this is not, what I thought was gonna happen. I'm not ready for something like this. Like, not totally like pushing him away because I still like thought I could, get some work out of him. But
But you're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Like I don't want to be a model underwear king that bad.
Yeah, exactly. And then whatever. And then ended up falling asleep on the couch. And like he wakes me
up. Did he Bill Cosby you?
No.
Did you drink anything before you fell asleep?
Water that he gave me. It's funny. He actually gave me carrots and water because I told him I had a migraine, and he thought that would help me feel better. It was weird. So I don't know. He might have put something in it. I didn't wake up too sore. I felt fine.
So what happened when he woke you up? Like, hey.
So it was another day of doing a bunch of model shit.
But so you made it through. Without a scandal.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So when you see this Harvey Weinstein shit, are you like, oh yeah?
I was like, yeah, that shit goes down all the time.
That's crazy, but
all the time. And it's funny. So that dude, like after he got creepy, I go to my friend and his manager. And I'm like, yo, you guys were right. I should have listened. And they're like, yeah, we told you. He's had lawsuits about this before. And I was like, what the fuck? You should have told me.
Wow.
And then like 2 years ago, he's on the news. He's on TMZ because he's doing it again. But this time he's stealing money from his actual models.
Who is this dude?
His name is Nole Marin.
I feel like I know that name, but I don't want to Google him because.
So then apparently he's like been stealing money from all his models. He disappeared. Like his credits shot. Like just all this fucked up shit. And then all these models like come out like, yeah, he promised me this, promised me that, took this from me and disappeared. And I'm like, yo, I should go on TMZ and tell my story.
Tell the fucking story, yeah.
But my manager advised against it because he's like, you're just gonna become the boy toy who never was, kind of thing.
You know what else is also? Oh shit, yeah, I know this dude. Yo, that's crazy shit. I was gonna say like the bald dude with the glass. I swear I should have said it out loud, but I was like, no, I don't want to sound like an idiot. But I do know this dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening, you can Google Nole Marin, and the E in Nole has a little tilde on it. I learned that through Google autocorrect. Thank you very much. But so
that's how we got into modeling.
But that's some shit. Like that's, and you stuck with. That would have fucked me up. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay in college. That's pretty crazy.
So well, because like I still wanted to do it. I was like my dad. I was always like into entertainment. I loved movies, and just before that. I had just started acting before I was modeling, but I was doing like theater, and I was doing that at like all girls schools, never at my own high school because I didn't want to. Sure. I didn't want
people to know.
Yeah, I didn't want to pause.
Got you. That's what's fucked up. Like you should be able to. Like Tupac went to
he was
art school. Yeah. He was an art student, so it's crazy. I talked about it before, like when you say, when your friends, you're like, I think I'm gonna model. Like, get out of here, you pussy. You know what I mean? But it's actually fucked up because you're a strong guy, obviously, and you have your wits about you, so you're like, you don't really give a fuck, even though you did go to another place, another like school to a place to do it. But it is fucked up because it could deter you from your dreams if you weren't as secure about what you wanted to do. Like, you're like, oh no. What would my friends think? And you could wind up being an accountant somewhere and fucking hate your life. Yeah. Because of what someone else thought.
And it's like a tier system when it comes to that. Because it's like, at first it's like, oh shit, everyone's going to think I'm a pussy because I'm into theater and all that. And then once I got over that, it's like, you're pursuing acting, get a real job, stick to school. Like, how many people just never make it? And I'm like, oh wow. Like, so then, like, I wasn't going to stop, but I wasn't going to tell people because I didn't want to hear that all the time,
Sure.
And, just like, no matter what you say, if it's like not the, like, the road most taken,
right, the cliche,
that everybody knows.
Meet a girl, start a family.
Exactly.
Be miserable.
Just always got something to say.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. So what's like being out in LA? And I planned on linking up with you in LA, like I said, but being out in LA, like what was it, like a culture shock? Because being out in LA, I was just like, what the fuck? Like I would actually rather be in New York. No shade to LA, but it was just like maybe because I was by myself, it was just a lot. Like I was just
you need to know like you need somebody
right
to show you what's going on.
Definitely need direction.
Yeah,
okay.
To show you the cool spots to make you like LA. Because if you're just doing it alone, it's like, oh, this is nice. I heard about this. Let me go see this tourist attraction that everyone else saw.
Pretty much what it was.
Yeah, like Hollywood Walk of Fame. Shit, I would never go there.
It was like fucking Manhattan. I was, I'm in there, I'm on the strip, and I'm just like, oh, this is just as fucking. I could have went down Broadway for this shit. Like, but I mean, it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely know what you mean. And you lived out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lived there for like 9 months, but then I was supposed to be back already, but broke my leg. Can't work. Can't pay rent. And luckily, my lease was up, so.
Well, that's good.
So
how'd you break your leg?
Wakeboarding.
All right, that's solid though.
Yeah.
You weren't doing some. You didn't like. I don't know. Slip down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, it wasn't some shitty story. It was
that's a cool injury.
It was cool.
Yeah, that's honorable. Like,
but it sucks because like I was in LA. I was like gaining a lot of ground, and then I was gonna come back, work the U.S. Open, and then do another job in the city, and then Chicago, and then go back to LA. But right before the U.S. Open, that's when I break my leg. So can't work all these jobs. Like from August until December, I'm out of work. I can't do anything because I can't walk. And so I plan on going back after that. But in terms of culture shock, it was definitely different, and I loved it. But I had visited a couple times before I went. So before I made my decision. The only thing that sucks is everything's so far away.
Oh God, it's a disaster. It's everything. If you want to go, what I feel like should be 2 blocks, you have to get on a parkway or an expressway or some bullshit. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad, but
luckily my area that I originally moved to, it was Beverlywood, which is between Beverly Hills and West Hollywood.
Okay.
Like I was like 2 blocks away from a main road. So there was grocery stores, supermarkets, restaurants, bars, like. So it was cool. It was like, all right, cool. This is a different experience for LA than I've like heard of. But and just like it's just way better like if you're somebody who is more outdoorsy than New York. Because New York you gotta like go upstate or way out east, Long Island.
True. And
there it's just like wanna do this hike or that hike.
You did inspire me with your backflip. When I was out in LA, I was like, I gotta go on a hike because that shit was ill.
Where'd you go?
I went to a trail in Malibu. I don't remember. I tagged it on Instagram because that's my only way of like remembering. But damn, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called. But I looked at where you went, and it was like 4 hours from Hollywood. It was like a 4-hour drive or some shit from where I was.
Really?
Where?
The one who did the backflip was in LA.
Really? Maybe I'm mixing up the two because I clicked the tag and that's why I was like, all right, I can make it there. And then I saw the drive and I was like, all right, no, that's not happening. So I was just driving aimlessly and I saw the.
But if you were in Malibu, like Malibu is like away from everything, and it's like the roads going in and out of Malibu are just always packed, so the traffic might have been that bad.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense actually. Okay. I forget about the traffic.
Malibu is kind of like out of the way from the rest of LA.
Because I started in Anaheim for the podcast convention and just like I was by myself. I was just working my way through.
Wait, how was that, by the way?
It was okay. I wish that people like you see what we're doing here now. I thought that's what the podcast convention would be, but I felt like people were going for the speakers, and then like everyone was just showing the rest of the world that they were at the podcast convention instead of actually interacting with people there,
like networking and doing.
Right. I have to put myself in situation. If you put me, like if me and you went somewhere, I went to the podcast convention with you, I would just talk to you the whole time. So I have to throw myself into situations and force myself to talk to people. And I felt like it's still like it was a miss. Like I'm not sure if it was me, but I was like, no one seems like. I don't even know where they are now, but I had a fucking boxes of business cards because I was just gonna give them to everybody. I was like, I want to do a fucking episode with everyone here, but it just didn't plan out that way. It was cool. It's gonna be in Philly next year, so I'm gonna go next year to Philly. But
like, did they have like good info? Like you learned, like took notes.
See, the thing with that is, I actually planned on. I wanted to start with like stand-up comedy.
I actually been thinking about that too.
Right. So I wanted that to be my segue into not show business, but just like that stage feeling. I just I like that. But I saw I had an opportunity to start the podcast, obviously, and do everything independent, everything myself. So I feel like I learned more just actually doing than listening to people. Like they didn't inspire me, and that's not a slight to them at all. But I feel like, all right, if you're gonna do it, you gotta actually go out and do. I don't need to go and watch a guy and listen to his story to make me pursue my dreams. You know what I mean? Like I felt like it was just I gotta go out and do. So the convention was okay, but I guess I just have the type of personality I'd rather just get straight to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But back to acting for a quick second, and I thought you would be a good person to ask this to. With The Rock and Tyrese, their situation they have going.
I read something, but I didn't know if Tyrese was joking or I don't know. I didn't know what was going on.
He's dead serious.
What's?
So, I want to actually. Maybe I could pull it up without taking too long.
Like he said something about the new Fast Furious coming out, and said something about The Rock, and I was like, oh.
Tyrese, obviously, as you know, the listeners who tuned into Fast and Furious series, they took on The Rock. The Rock did what Vin Diesel couldn't do when he fucking, Vin Diesel tried to leave and they started Tokyo Drift and just flopped. They got Vin Diesel back. So now The Rock is like taking on a spinoff of, I think, Hobbs, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
So Tyrese is like, hold on, bro. We all stick together. We do this together. We're in it. Like one takes a deal, we all get a deal. We're all involved. But The Rock is basically like kind of like fuck off.
Yeah.
So, Tyrese is writing on his Instagram post like, "Yo, call me. You know what I mean? Hey, Dwayne, or we had a talk in my trailer and you weren't listening, and this is bullshit. We move as a family, the Fast family, and all this bullshit." And at first, I thought the same thing. I'm like, what is he doing, bro? Like, why are you under this man's Instagram pictures?
Yeah.
And then I started to think, like, maybe The Rock isn't so crazy because, like I said, Vin Diesel tried this. He tried, I want more money or else get somebody else. And they did, and it didn't work. So he came back. So I feel like they have an understanding, like one moves, we all move. But The Rock is a big enough star where he can take this franchise and, it's going to get old after a while, with the fucking 9th movie.
Yeah.
So they can start a whole nother story with Hobbs and the transporter dude, I forget his name, Jason Statham. Statham or whatever. So what my question to you is, like, how would you feel? I want to, like, say Tyrese is desperate and being just annoying, but then I'm like, damn, that is his livelihood. If we have a series or whatever the fuck is, like a franchise, or I forget the word for it, not franchise, but you know what I mean, like of movies, he's almost taking away his paycheck. Like, what's the last? I can't name 5 other things that Tyrese has been in over the years, other than the Fast Five. So, what would you do if you were in that situation where, for example, you were almost going to be blackballed? Like, if you were a co-star with these guys and then The Rock came and swooped, like, would you be upset or would you try to find another opportunity to just...
Well, it depends, because The Rock is bigger than Tyrese.
The Rock is a megastar.
Yeah, like if they wanted to make a movie, like continue the franchise, like based off a character, like, Hobbs would do much better than Tyrese's character,
100. That's not even a debate. That's why
it just is what it is. But I can see where Tyrese might feel a little like betrayed. I can see it, but it's his problem to like let himself feel that way. Put his feelings all out there for everyone to see.
I thought that was. I wouldn't have put my feelings on Instagram. But I guess, like, if a guy isn't calling you, fuck it.
And and I can see, because like Tyrese was there first.
Sure.
It's like me getting my boy a job, and then all of a sudden my boy becomes manager, or my boy becomes better friends with, the people I introduced him to, kind of thing, But yeah, so I could see that, but I think he's letting it get to him a little too much, because The Rock has a lot going on a lot. And Tyrese, like, you know, he is fast. He has his music, and you know, he does movies here and there. But you know, he's just not The Rock.
Sure. You know? And that's what I think. That's why I don't think he's that crazy. Like, at first I was like, the fuck is he doing? And then I'm like, damn, but The Rock is going to steal this whole show, and we might not hear from you until 2030. You know what I mean? So, but I guess that you got to chalk that up to show business, and he should know that.
Did The Rock like respond, or has he said anything? Do you know?
The Rock was ignoring him for a while, but he put up a little jab. He threw a little Instagram jab. He was working out, and he was like, he's like, just working out, doing what big dogs do. Little puppies stay on the porch and cry. And I was like, oh shit, that was kind of cold. Like, it was pretty crazy. Like, I saw it and I was just like, okay. Now we know how Hobbs feels about the situation. But I guess so. Yeah, I'll pull up the.
But like, with that in mind, that The Rock is taking away his paycheck and his livelihood, that makes sense for someone to be upset.
Oh no, that's why I was asking you, as a person who, you know, you're into acting, and if you were in that situation, what would you?
Yeah, like from a business perspective, it's a good move for the franchise, the producers, to, you know, make a spinoff with The Rock. But
sure,
in terms of like, let's see, in terms of like, you know,
of course I don't have reception, so it's probably.
Big dogs eat. As many of you know, it ain't size or gender thing, it's a mentality thing.
Big dogs eat. Little crying puppies stay on the porch.
Oh my god. The shade room like that.
See, that's the only way he responded. So, you know, I wasn't mad at him, but I did. It's show business, but it did make me look at The Rock like, damn, bro.
Yeah. Because The Rock is like, you know, he's the people's champ, you know? Right. Like, he's for everybody. Right. And, you know, the Fast families, like, they call themselves the Fast family. Right. You know? So,
you know, it's Paul Walker, obviously, which is fucked up.
So, yeah, now that like, we're talking about it, and, you know, it's starting to develop a little more in my head, like, wow, like, I would be upset too.
I'd be pissed. Yeah. Like, I was thinking, like, he's lucky he didn't fucking show up at your house. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, see, The Rock would crush me. Yeah. So I would, you know, I wouldn't advise running down on The Rock, but
then The Rock's like persona, you know, everyone loves him. He's such a good guy, you know, so friendly, helps everybody out. Like,
right.
I wouldn't expect him to respond like that to Tyrese, you know.
That's why I asked. Like, it changed things. I'm like, shit, is The Rock becoming a villain? Yeah. Like, is this? What's going on with this, you know? And I'm like, what does Vin Diesel have to say about this? I try not to get too involved in like the pop culture shit. Mm-hmm. But with the podcast, the people want to hear, you know, your take on it. Yeah. And if someone who's actually into acting, like, who the fuck else would I ask? Yeah. But
but even me, like, I try to stay away from pop culture. But then, like, in the business I'm in, if you don't know certain things, it's like, well, you're not keeping up with that. What the fuck?
And they look at you like, well, are you even in it? Like, you know?
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, but anywho, moving on. With since The Rock was working out, I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel not being able to work out because of your?
I mean, it sucks, but it's allowed me to do other things with my time and really start to appreciate all the, you know, ability I had before I broke my leg. Because now, you know, I'm just like laying around at home, like using my scooter, like going around the house like a hamster in the cage. Like, and now I'm starting physical therapy, and so it's cool because, like, you know, they let me ride the bike on like the low setting, and, you know, so it's like, oh wow, I'm doing shit.
Sure.
But, you know, I've been working out since I was 13, so it's like just
that's crazy.
It's a major change.
Are you enjoying the break?
Or you know, like,
fucking with you.
No, not really. Like I told you before we started the podcast, like, I've lost like a good amount of mass. I don't know how much I weigh right now, but it's definitely noticeable, the mass I lost. But I don't mind, because you know, when you're bulky and shit, it kind of puts you in a box. You know, in my industry, like, you know, it's like, oh, you're a fitness guy, or you're an action star, or you're fucking, you know, a jock and a dummy.
Really?
It's like yeah.
I never knew that. So it's almost like weight classes to it? not weight class, but like
Well, it depends how you market yourself and the roles you take. You know, because like that doesn't have to happen, but there's a chance that it goes down that way. Like,
really?
Like for like actually, Denzel Washington said it once that like before his career took off, he did it like some good movie, and then they offered him a role for another one, but that role was gonna be him playing like a submissive slave. You know,
right.
and he'd have to, you know, just play this submissive role and like put him in this light that he didn't want to be seen in. And he said the money was good, but he didn't take it because he wanted to have control over who he was in the industry and the roles that he was going to get. Because if he took that, he would have just been, you know, another Uncle Tom.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's crazy.
So, you know, you really got to pick and choose your roles, like, hard. And, you know, going again with the muscle thing, like, I feel like looking a little leaner, like, makes me more versatile. Because I know I could always, like, put mass back on easily. It's just, you know, I could just do it. But
see, that's not, I'm not, obviously you probably have me by like 30 pounds. But I never was, that was part of my problem with like working out. I could always jump back. I could always put the weight back on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost my downfall. Even right now, do you see, I was just talking about with a friend of mine, my heavy bag, it has procrastination written on it. But when I'm fucking hitting it, because that's part of it. Like, I'm like, I'll get back in a month. And then that leads to me not working out, which is not, it is counterproductive, and it's almost a gift and a curse. But,
I'm actually the same way, but in a different way. Like, I was pretty consistent with working out.
I'm good.
But, you know, but like staying lean, like keeping a six pack was always a problem for me because I was a wrestler growing up and in college. So I was just used to cutting weight, you know, the bad way, like, you know, starve yourself, like, you know, eat like 800 calories a day and like burn like 1,200.
Sure.
Like, you know, crazy shit. And now like there were times where I'd cut 4 pounds in an hour, you know, all water weight,
really?
Obviously. Yeah.
That's fucking intense.
But like, you know,
crazy.
like crazy shit like that. So I could always like, oh, I know how to lose weight. I could lose weight. Oh, I got to have a six pack for this shoot. All right. I could do it in my own time. Like, you know, I wouldn't be consistent. I wouldn't do it healthy. And then after a while, it was like, you know, like I'm older, like my body can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it's just not, what's the word? Like, you just, you know, you can't maintain that.
And it's not exactly the best thing for your health. You know, if you're gonna really lead a healthy lifestyle, losing 4 pounds in an hour is crazy.
Yeah,
see, I guess those are like modeling hacks though. Also, so it's like wrestling and a little bit of both. Because I know I don't know many models, but the one I used to know a couple of chicks, and they would really like starve themselves for real.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you know, like, you all right? Like, oh, I had a carrot, and you'd be like, that's it? Like all day? And it would be. I've been thinking like I could never do some shit like that, but I guess, you know.
But that, like, when it comes to modeling, it's kind of hard because even if, like, say you're constantly lean and you have a six pack and you got a photo shoot coming up, even eating, just having food in your stomach will bloat you a little bit, you know. It was just like, you know, like when you get full, like it naturally it just comes out.
True.
So,
you know, I also wanted something I wanted to say to you that was crazy. And this is not just because you're Mexican. I know we talked about this. But as far as acting is concerned, and like you said with Denzel, he didn't want to come out of the gate. Because your first thing, I don't know about you, but whenever I first see an actor, that's him. Like Tony Soprano. Well, I mean, I almost did it again. James Gandolfini will always be Tony Soprano to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, he's dead. But whatever I saw him in, I'm like, oh, there's Tony Soprano. For a while, I thought that J-Lo was Selena. I know that's the fucking dumbest thing ever. I don't know. I don't know when.
It was a great movie.
Dude, she bodied that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know when Selena came out. I have to Google that. But like for a while, like J-Lo, she was Selena to me. And I remember my older sister being like, "What, you fucking idiot? What are you talking about?" But in my head, like I couldn't undo it. So would you? 1997. All right, I was like 10. That's kind of no excuse. Like that's like right on the borderline for. Like, but you know, my first time seeing her, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, Selena's dead. That's
Yeah.
oh, she didn't really. Oh, she died in the movie, but this is, who
Yeah.
like I really couldn't fucking process it, and then obviously after a while, no J-Lo, J-Lo. But would you? I remember, like I was saying, I was talking about see, that's the weed now. I was doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And then I started to really think about acting, and I was like, I want, like, what would be my role? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What I think I could play would be, like, Training Day. Like, Denzel and Training, like, to be that, like, angry fucking dirty cop is, like, the illest role. Like, if I had to choose my audition, I would probably try that. But I don't know if I could do something else. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I wouldn't want to come in like the acting game and be like, I don't want to say like a gay dude. I don't want to, like, because that's like ignorant, but I wouldn't want to be known as that. You know what I mean? Or like a fucking serial killer. Like, well, I guess that's like a drug dealer, I guess. Like, so say I came in and like playing a drug dealer in a fucking 50 Cent movie. I don't want people to really look at me like when I go out, like, oh, that's the drug dealer guy from that movie. Like, I really, so it's, do you think about that when you're going into like auditions or anything, or you just?
Yeah, all the time. Like, all the time. Like, for example, I just did a dating show and.
Oh shit, I saw that. Congratulations. That was some cool shit. I gotta give you that. I want to hear about that, but go ahead.
So, yeah, like with that, it's like, it was reality. It's not like it wasn't exactly acting, even though, I was acting. I was playing it up a little more so I could get on stage and so I could win. And, the girl was really cool too. But, I just played it up just to kind of get myself where I wanted to be, which was on stage with Andy Cohen. But say I did like a show like, any other show where like you're there, like, if they're for the entire season, then you become a reality star. Sure. And it's really hard to get out of that. So with this show, it was like one episode, so it was cool. And if I did like a whole season, I would just end up on Celeb Rehab or something like that.
So with this show, like, how did you have to audition for the show? Or did you?
Yeah, it was more of an interview.
Okay.
Than an audition. But before the interview, they were like, turn the energy all the way up. It was like, it was like a heightened interview.
Okay, gotcha.
They're like, we need to make sure that you're, gonna bring something to TV.
Sure. I mean, people, you still have to have the viewer count, and so, did you see the girl before? I know you don't want to.
No, I didn't see her.
So that part of it was actually real.
Yeah, I didn't see her until our date. Like, and we actually did have a date. A lot of people think, did you actually date her, or was that whole studio thing like made up? I'm like, no, like we actually went on a date. Studio paid me to take her on a date.
Wow.
And but they wouldn't tell me her name. They wouldn't tell me what she looked like, what she was into, nothing. But the producer was because I was planning on going to like this cool sushi seafood. Actually, it was Nobu. I wanted to go.
Oh, really?
I wanted to go to Nobu.
Oh, nice.
And then the producer's like, all right, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I will. She hates seafood. So I'm just giving you that. Which is cool because he could have let me bring her anyway and just had a shitty date. And that would have made, drama for good TV. But I don't know. He helped me out.
So what was the like the basis of the show? Like, what were you supposed to?
What was the show like?
Like, did she win something or some shit? Or
yeah. So all right. So the premise of the show is the original show, The Love Connection, was. Remember this show, like, Who's Behind Door Number 1? Like, you're talking to someone. Right. That was the original show. But now, like, they change it up and you actually go on dates and see the people. So, basically, she dates the 3 dudes. And there's other contestants, dudes dating 3 girls, whatever. And then, she makes her pick of who she liked the most and wants to continue dating. And then the audience picks who they think she should continue dating. And if it's 2 different people, she could either choose true love and, continue on with that person, or she could pick the audience's pick and go home with $10,000.
$10,000?
$10,000.
God damn.
Which is what she did. And I don't blame her.
I was going to say, for $10,000.
Yeah, I'll do it too. And I even told her, I was like, yo, fucking take that money. Like,
yeah, word. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like people were like felt bad for me. Like, oh, she's such a bitch. Don't worry. Like,
wait, so you were on like a big screen, and when she made the choice, like the audience was, oh, wait, I gotta see that. Oh, we don't have to get it now, but wait, like, how do we?
Fox.com.
Fox.com. So listeners, if you're listening, I want you to go to Fox.com. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll make it easy. So go to the show notes, click on that, so we could all watch this together, because that actually sounds pretty cool.
It's cool because it was the finale too. Like,
nice.
The whole season, I was like, yo, is my episode coming? Was it bad? Did they just cut it out completely? Like, what's going on?
So you didn't know?
Yeah, I didn't know
anything.
when it was coming.
Oh,
so then I thought I fucked up. I thought the show sucked.
Sure.
And then like 2 weeks before, they hit me up and they're like, hey, you're on the season finale. It's gonna be this day. Here are the links and videos if you want to, put on social media. I'm like, oh, damn.
Like, oh, shit, this is real.
Yeah.
How did it feel to watch yourself on TV?
I was cringing.
Did you have your whole family around?
No, I didn't want anybody around.
Really?
But my brother was around.
That's cool.
I was cringing because, like, I was just being, like, super sweet and, really, like, romantic, and it was just hard to watch because
I know what you mean. Like, even listening to myself sometimes, I'm like, let me turn this shit off.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other ball game, like seeing yourself on fucking television and knowing the world can be watched, especially on Fox. Like, the world's watching this, basically.
Yeah. That's national television. It's not like HBO or Showtime.
Right,
some people got it. Everyone has Fox.
Everyone has that, right.
Yeah.
So did you feel like, when it was over, were you like, all right, that was cool?
After I watched it or after
you watched it?
No, I was still pretty.
Like,
I was cringing. I was like, oh my god, everybody saw that. Everyone saw that shit. And also, she brought up. I told her something in confidence that she ended up saying in the show on stage, and so like now the whole world knows about it.
Well, shit, can we know?
I mean, might as well like brought it up, but so. I broke my penis once when I was 19.
Oh, my.
And,
Wait, I did know this, I think. I forgot about
everybody
that.
knew this at the plant.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So, I told her that, like, it wasn't like at a random, like, hey, you want to hear something funny? It was like, no, we were just like, sharing funny stories. And she's like, yeah, I broke some dude's thumb during sex once. I'm like, oh, how'd that happen? She's like, oh, you try to, like, do something weird, and I just sat on it and it broke, and I was like, "Oh, want to hear something else?"
That's how I broke my dick. Like,
yeah, exactly. And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh no, yeah, it really broke. Like it ruptured, and I had to get surgery and everything. I get like PTSD from it. It's fucked up, man."
Wow, I forgot. I wouldn't even. You know what's crazy? I forgot about it. Even if I remembered, I probably wouldn't ask you about it. But now, since the cards are on the table, wait. First of all, let's get back to. How did you feel when so it's on, like, the clip, like it's on television.
It's on TV.
How did you remember, or when you watched it, were you like, oh, come on? Like,
no, I knew the whole time.
Okay.
Because actually after we recorded the studio session, we had like another like side interview, and then they were just like really prying on that subject. They wanted to know more and more and more, and I'm like, all right, they're definitely gonna fucking talk about this on TV. But no, it wasn't bad. It actually, like, everyone reacted. Like, it was funny.
Yeah.
And and like Andy Cohen, who's the man, he was like, he didn't like dive into it too much. So, and it like, it just made for good TV. Nobody will forget that. And,
of course not.
And right after they asked me about it, I was like, hi, Mom.
Like,
so.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So now breaking your actual dick. Mm-hmm. Like, suddenly your leg, like breaking your leg, is like, oh. That's a walk in the park. Like,
because like, even like when before surgery, they were like, "Have you had any other surgeries before?" I'm like, "Yeah, one." And they're like, "What was it?" I'm like, "A penile fracture." And they're writing it, and they're like, you see their eyebrows like, closing in together, and then they look at me, and I just nod. I'm like, "Yeah."
That really happened.
Yeah,
that's some funny shit.
Yeah, man, but like when I broke my leg, people are like, oh my god, and you ruptured all the ligaments, you can't walk. I'm like, yeah, but when I tell you I've had worse, I really had worse.
Wow, that's crazy. So, like, do you still talk to the chick? I mean,
that broke it?
That broke your penis? No?
No, it's like, no. I just couldn't look her in the eye.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys would have like a bond forever, but I guess now you think about it, if I broke your dick,
I just thought, like, and part of it also because I just thought it was bad luck. Because actually, it's funny because the date is, recently. What's today? The 10th?
Today is the 10th.
So I broke it on October 7th, 2011. And I remember that vividly because
obviously
October 7th, 2010, I had a traumatic brain injury. And when I was in Arizona State, I was doing parkour and I fell and cracked my head, knocked out, injured my neck, and it was real bad. So like,
I'm glad you're doing better, but
I've had worse,
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, and both those major injuries happened on the same day, a year apart from each other.
I'm glad I saw you on the 10th, so it was like out of the way, just in case I wouldn't.
So every October 7th, I'm like, real careful, like
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, so like, with that girl and that date, I was just like, might as, nothing good could come from this.
Yeah, gotcha. So what about the girl from the game show? So are you guys still in contact?
Yeah, no, we talk here and there. She's real cool.
Is she from New York?
She's actually a comedian. Nah, she's from Jersey, but she lives in LA.
Okay, gotcha.
She's actually like super funny.
We got to check out her stuff. Yeah. But
one of her jokes is like, she's like, yeah, everybody treats me like a white girl, but I'm mixed. I've had black in me. That one.
Yeah. Wait, I guess she was actually looking for love, but then given that choice, we're like, all right, what would you? That's what makes it a fucking game show. Like, would you give up love for 10 grand? Obviously, we know her morals. She did it, but I don't blame her because I would have probably gave up fucking 10. I mean, 10 grand. I'd be like, look.
Yeah,
it's cool and all that, bro. But
and that's what she did. She was like,
right, of course.
I'll call you tomorrow, but I'm taking this money.
Today, I'm taking the money. Respectable.
Yeah.
So, are you looking into any other game shows or?
Nah.
Or not game shows, but any other
like TV.
Or are you waiting until you get fully healed?
I'm waiting until I get better. Like I've been in contact with certain like casting agencies, but it's like I can't do anything. Because I can't walk. I can't even stand on my own. So. It's nothing I could do, but right before I got hurt, I did it wasn't a major role at all. It wasn't even speaking. I was just a featured extra on that new show American Crime Story with OJ.
Oh yeah.
So next season is about the assassination of Gianni Versace, and we filmed for that in August. And Ricky Martin is playing Versace's boyfriend, and Versace is played by Edgar Ramirez, which is Bodie from the new Point Break. I don't know if you saw the new one, but
no,
he's the Venezuelan dude. But there's a shot. Actually, there's two shots where like I'm there with them. It's like them two and me and one other dude in the shot.
Wow.
Which is like I think that's
I was
just hyped to be on fucking.
That's amazing.
In the same shot as them,
That's crazy, and that like I said before, I really admire that about you. That you really stuck to it and you're pursuing your dreams and it's hard. It's especially with something like acting. If you want to, be a fucking YouTube star, an Instagram star, or whatever people do these days, fine. But actually acting and taking on a role is amazing, and I definitely salute you on that. I think that's amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing your R&B album or whatever you got going in the works.
Actually, R&B would be the genre, I think, if I were to pursue music.
Sure.
Because, I love rap, but I don't want to just be another dude trying to be a rapper, And I'm not like
rap.
But R&B is cool. Just singing in general is cool. Pop, all that. But rap is fun, but it's
rap changed. So I get it. Like R&B is more me now. It's like mellow, and I'm more into like the feel. Like everybody loves love. You know what I mean? So with R&B, that's more relatable than fucking whatever rappers rap about now. Like I just listen to 2012 and before.
Yeah.
Here comes my lovely wife.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
We're live on the podcast.
Okay. It's hot. I put a nice
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Miguel, this is my wife, Lindsay.
Lindsay,
Miguel.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My grandma puts more ice cubes.
You're such a good wife.
That was a difficult task.
What, carrying both down?
Yeah, because I had to open both doors, so I had to
damn.
lock that one in.
That's why I love you, because you're self-sufficient.
I love
Thank you.
Do you want me to leave the door open?
Yeah, it's hot as the devil's ass in here. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the record, Miguel made me feel like an asshole. Well, I text him and I'm like, yo, you need anything, bro? You want beer, liquor? And he was like, actually, bro, neither. And I'm like, damn, I was like, that was a dick move. Like, I was like, yo, you want water? I was like, I got green tea. I was like, see, you gotta offer people more than drugs and alcohol, people. We gotta do better with our friends. Offer your friends some fucking high pH water.
It was funny because it was like, you want beer, liquor? And I'm like, nah, not really. And it was like, okay, what about chips or soda? And I was like, even worse. Like, I don't want either of those.
The funny shit is though, like I have Hennessy here, but I haven't been drinking in a week, and I wasn't really gonna drink, but I was like, all right, if he wants to, I will. Yeah. So when you said no, I was like, damn, I didn't even want that myself. That's why I said I felt like an asshole. Cause
I would be down for a drink, but
sure, but not a fucking
drink, you know?
right. But I just wanted to point that out. See, this is what I like, that transition in our life that we both. Well, I don't know about you, but like I said, being at the Platte and getting fucked up at the end of the night was amazing to me. Like, that was the highlight of working there. But now, like, I'm sitting across from you in my basement drinking green tea. Like, it's crazy how life really, like, I mean, it's a growth process, so it's cool.
Green tea and smoking greens.
No, and that's another thing, since we're on the record here.
Is it honey in this? This is good.
I don't know. I just, see, that's... We
It's
really
good
have
for the voice,
gender
too.
roles. Like, I just tell my wife what I want, and she makes it happen. So, like, I couldn't even tell you what this is. I just know we have it. But what was I saying? Oh, I guess. Oh, the weed. Mm-hmm. Go figure. I used to could not smoke weed at all. Like we were saying. But now, like, and I used to look at weed like, all right, if you smoke, like, oh, you guys are gonna smoke, like, I'm gonna go. But now I'm like, oh shit, I see why. My uncles, I'm like, I see why they smoke weed now. It makes it's better than drinking to me at this point.
Yeah.
Especially since you could drive home. I mean, not that you should, but you know what I mean.
But safer. Because, even alcohol, like, early on, I was never a big fan of it. It was more like a social thing.
Sure.
And then, becoming a bartender, like...
It's almost in the contract, right?
Yeah. Like, for a whole, like, it was a good year or two. Like, I was like, okay, I'm drinking almost every day. Like, it just is what it is. But, you notice, like, changes in you. And then as, like, while you're bartending, like, seeing all these, like, fucked up people. And then when you're actually drunk, you're like, oh, my God, I'm one of them.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I was just never, like, a fan of The Hangover. I don't think anybody is. But I don't ever think a hangover is worth the amount of fun you had the night before.
True.
Ever, ever, ever. And I've always, like, I've just never been a fan of alcohol.
That's definitely good wisdom, because that was like being security and like looking at the people. Like, I'm like, that's what I look like when I go out. I'm like, this shit is whack. Yeah, you look at them and I'm like, this shit is disgusting.
Yeah.
Didn't stop me from drinking then, but
yeah,
I definitely feel you.
But and even with that said, there's still nights where I'll go out and get hammered, and it's just like, oh my God, like I'll say this, but then I'll do it anyway.
See, it happens because like if I was like, oh, let's crack one of this. If we were out somewhere, like, oh, let's crack one of these. It's just gonna. The night happens and you're drinking and you're going like you drink 4 green teas, you go the fuck home. You drink 4 drinks, you don't even realize what happened to you, and you get fucked up.
And then you never know what. Once you're drunk, you never know what else you're gonna experiment with.
This is true. Oh, so you have drunk wild story. See, when I get drunk, I'm going to sleep or I don't know what's happening. But now, like,
I actually have a bunch of wild ones, especially from this summer in Montauk. But there's actually a more recent one that's really is really funny, but it's kind of fucked up. It's fucked up, like what happened.
Well, shit, I was going to wrap this podcast up, but now I'm interested. Now I gotta know.
This really just happened on Saturday.
Oh, brand new.
So I was my friend was getting engaged.
Nice.
Well,
Congratulations to your friend.
Yeah. Congrats, Cody. So he got engaged, and they had like a really like informal engagement party. Just like a bunch of his friends went to go visit. He lives in Patchogue, and we went to go visit him. Have a couple drinks, and then his fiance's friends are there too. And they're trying to hook me up with one of her friends, and of course they bring up he was just on that dating show, and I'm like, oh my God, why you got to leave with that?
He was on TV.
Like come on, like let me be a normal person, see if she really likes me.
You're not normal, bro, but go ahead. That's some ill shit. You were on TV, bro. That's crazy. But go ahead.
So then whatever, and this dude is like talking to her all night, so I'm like, oh, she must be with that dude. What are my friends doing to me? But whatever. And then finally I find out that he's like not with her, and like we're about like we finally get to talking, and it's like 10, 15 minutes before my ride's about to leave. So I'm like, yo, listen, I'm about to leave, but you know, I'll get your number. We can hang out this week. Blah blah blah. She's like, why don't you just stay? I'm like, because my ride, like she's like, oh, you can just stay with me. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
It's going down.
Oh, and keep in mind, I'm in a knee scooter because my leg is broken.
Oh, right.
Like, just imagine
I forgot about this. See, when you said, I'm imagine you at the door, like, oh, so now, okay.
Just imagine me at a bar, scooting around in a scooter, and then just talking to this chick, right? So then she's like, you just stay with me. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. So, and just as we're about to leave, she's like, oh, my God, I forgot my friends want to, like, a bunch of my friends I haven't seen in a while are doing, I don't know, some reunion shit at to this bar a couple blocks away. And I'm like, listen, I was not happy scooting around that bar. The next bar is probably more packed. I don't know if I'm going to do that either. She's like, here, take my keys, go back to my place, and I'll meet you there. I'm like, sick. So that's what we do. And I'm at her place, and it's like 1:30. And I'm like, okay. And then it becomes 2 o'clock. Still doesn't show up. 3 o'clock rolls around. Oh, and mind you, I used her bathroom, and I lost my balance because I'm on one leg. And I fell, and I broke her shower rack.
Damn.
So,
so now you have an explanation.
Yeah. So then 4 o'clock comes around, and she finally rolls up, like, you know, comes home. And she brought 2 friends with her. And I'm like, oh, shit, what the fuck's happening? I see one girl. I see, you know, the girl whose apartment it is. And then a dude. And I'm like, oh, okay. The dude's probably with that other girl. Like, whatever, you know? Easy. So then, like, they all, you know, get in comfortable clothes, and the one girl I don't know is, like, throwing up in the bathroom. And, you know, and mind you, I just met this girl who let me in her apartment. Just met her, like, that night. And she's talking to me, and she's like, yeah, you know, see you got yourself comfortable. It's cool. All right, I'll sleep on the couch. I'll see you in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? I've been waiting in your apartment for 3 hours, and we're gonna sleep in separate rooms? Like, what the fuck is this? She's like, and like now I'm starting, like, she's like drunk. So, like, you know, going back to looking at drunk people, and I'm not drunk anymore. I'm just like looking at her. It's like, oh, you're fucked up. What I think happened is that, and the dude comes in the room. He's like, is everything all right? I'm like, yeah, we're just, you know, talking, figuring it out. Like, how the fuck am I getting home in the morning?
From fucking an hour and a half away.
Yeah. So then like, she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't, you know, you thought we were going to have sex or something? I was like, kinda, but even if not, we would at least hook up, talk, share the bed, you know, do something. But she's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, you thought, like, even, and my friends that were, like, my friend that got engaged and his fiance, they were both like, yo, like, you know, she's really into you. You guys are about to, like, even they saw it that way too. Like, it wasn't just me.
Right.
So what I think happened, all right, I'll get to that later. So, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll see you in the morning. And she goes on the couch, and I'm like, my heart's pounding. I just felt like I got kicked in the balls. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm not sleeping in her place. So I'm like, I gotta go. So I was like, I gotta get an Uber. So I exit the room, and I expect to see her on the couch because the TV's on. And I was gonna say bye, but she's not on the couch. And I see, like, the wind is kind of, like, blowing the blinds a little to the balcony. So that door's open. And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl's getting dogged out on the balcony. That dude was a dude she was gonna fuck. So what I think happened, I think she forgot that I was at her place. And I think she picked up another dude. And it was just so bizarre. And once I heard that, I fucking tossed my scooter over my shoulder. I fucking scooted down her fucking steps, like, called an Uber.
That's some shit.
Yeah, an hour later I was home.
Damn.
It was so crazy. Like, nothing's like happened like that, you know? It was just so fucked.
Well, I guess that's why he came in. Like, is everything good? Like,
yeah. Who's this dude in your bed? Yeah. And why are you sitting on the couch when he's in your bed?
Yeah, that's some shit. See, I guess that would change the guy. I'd be like, you know what? This is fucked up.
And mind you, I wasn't even really feeling her to begin with. It was just because my friends were hyping her up to me, like, trying to get us together, showing me these, like, you know, saved Snapchats of her like shaking her ass in Vegas and like crazy shit, just like, you know, getting me riled up.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool,
And then
let's do it,
that's
whatever.
when you zoned in, like
okay, cool. I didn't think she was that special to begin with, but let's do it. And you know, it's happened a number of times where I should just go with my gut on these things.
True. I always say that your gut knows more than you. You'd be very surprised when you feel like I'm not saying your first instinct's always right, but when you feel like I don't know, just don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you live and you learn. But that is definitely some shit I mean, it's a good thing they didn't fucking, I don't know, like, imagine she was like, I never seen this guy before in my life. Like, how'd you get into my apartment? So I guess, you know, you take what you can get.
Yeah. It was definitely one for the books.
I haven't had a drunk story in a while. I did throw up, like, a couple. I threw up for the first time in, like, 6 years.
Really?
Like, I can't remember I don't even remember where I was coming from, but I was with my wife, and she's never seen me fucking throw up. So that's why it was even more crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, we were leaving, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, that's not good. And then she was driving. She knows, like, if I'm like, nope, you gotta drive. She's like, oh, he's fucked up. So, because obviously I've come too far to get a fucking DWI now. But, I remember she was turning, and I was like, we're not going to make it. And when I was throwing up out of the car, I was just like, what am I doing with myself? I was like, look, this is fucking, like, this is disgusting. I was like, this is disgusting. Like,
who am I?
Yeah, who am I? So
I have a son.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm really throwing up out of the side of the car with my wife. Like, what kind of shit is this? And that really, it changed things. And I don't feel like, I didn't start feeling all righteous. Like, I got to get my life together. But I was just like, all right, like, you got to know when enough's enough. I might as well just drink at home and fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah. This is not the life anymore.
But,
yo, I just thought of something crazy.
Shoot.
That story with that girl that I just told you, that was October 7th.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's kind of crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Yo.
That's like your
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we gotta figure out like some 10-7. You know what? You gotta beat that omen. Going forward,
I'm not gonna be a victim.
Don't be a victim of the curse of October 7th. Now, I wouldn't exactly advise you to go skydiving because you don't want to take your chances. But as far as next October 7th, like, don't think like, all right, what's gonna happen today? You gotta think positive. Hopefully, and don't cross the streets. Don't jaywalk. Cross it all crosswalks. But so what's something you're looking forward to in the future as far as like your career? Or you also inspired me to go to fucking. I never told you this obviously, but I'm telling you now to go to graduation in Nassau. Like you and Kareem, I remember you went together and you sat, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I wasn't gonna fucking walk at graduation, but like, I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Like, cause I'm just that kind of person. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just mail it to me. But when I saw you, I'm like, all right, this guy has good sense about him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it is. I should just at least experience it. You know, like just not just like, what's it gonna be?
Even if like you're not into it or whatever, it's like, all right, I earned this. Let me feel what it feels like. You know,
absolutely.
Let me do the ceremony that I worked for.
Absolutely. So what else? I just wanted to throw that out there for the listeners.
Cool. I was glad.
What do you like? What are your goals and what are you looking to do?
So in terms of acting, I'd love to, either be like on a hit show, like a recurring character, like, really, like Shameless or Breaking Bad. Like these shows made certain actors, like, who were nobody, at the time. And now these are like, cult hits.
Gotcha.
A show like, like that. Or, just straight, the movies getting good roles or, whichever way it happens, the way I always put is I want to be able to say that the people I looked up to as role models, I can now say that they're my peers.
I feel that.
Like, I want to like work with these people. Like these people look at celebrities like like get all worked up. It's like I want them to respect me as I respect them.
Got you.
That's the best way I could put it when it comes to this industry.
I completely get that, and that's what you go in it for. You know what I mean? You don't want to. It'd be cool to fucking see Spike Lee and he's like, hey, or see like whoever, or maybe the fucking dude from America's what is the guy? Next Top Model.
I actually saw him a couple years later.
You know, you see him and he's like, ah, shit, this, you know.
Actually, when I saw him, I was with my manager and a couple other people, and when I saw him, I was like, oh, hello, how you been? Like, I don't like. There's no hard feelings. Like, no, you didn't do anything.
See, I want to ask you about that because I know we were just talking about the future and also and all this other shit, but it gets tricky. I don't want to like offend anyone. I don't want to, but like, do you feel like, all right, nothing happened? Like you didn't.
So part of me feels like it's like so it didn't end up happening. Like I said no, and he respected that. Cool. But at the same time, you did try to lure me in with it. And and that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
And, you know, he probably convinced a bunch of people by doing that. And, of course. You know, he's not the only one. You know, we got the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. Like, you know, there are some dirty people in the industry. But,
Trump.
You know, finally, we got there. Finally.
Seriously, though. But
yeah, some dude actually just recently posted, like, one tweet by the other, the names of all the girls who have come out and, you know, said that Trump has sexually harassed them, you know? And using the same tactics that these people in the industry do.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. So I mean, I get it. And I know it's, well, I mean, that shit is crazy with him like, for a number of reasons. But, like right now that when people and the women come out, I'm like, man, that's fucked up, bro. Like before, I don't know. I guess I'm just getting soft. I don't know. Or maybe it's the exposure to all the other shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit of a sidebar, but that's why I get so fucking mad at people when they're like, kneeling for the flag, you stand up for your country. And I'm like, no, bro. Like, we have all this information in front of us now. Like, we can't think like that anymore. Because I know I'm opening up to new shit. Like, for example, with Nelly, with this new thing when they're like, oh, Nelly was just accused of rape. Mm-hmm. Like, before, like, even within, like, I'd say, like, 2-3 years ago, I'd be like, no, wait, like, why would he ever do that? You know, like, even with Bill Cosby, I'm like, why the fuck would Bill Cosby rape anybody? Yeah. Then when you see all the details and when you hear, like, 11 women, 5 women, like, at that point, it's no coincidence. Like, no. So now when I hear those things, like, with Nelly, I was just like, I don't know. You know, like, I was just like, all right, like, here we go. I was either like, all right, it's going to be fucking 11 women to come out, or he didn't do it. It's not going to... There definitely is a pattern to that bullshit. So it's good that you don't feel like I said earlier, I don't want to sound redundant, but it's good that you don't hold that against you. And if you see him, you're like, oh God, like there he is. And you don't let that defeat you. That's awesome that you're like, I might bump into him at an industry party. But
he has a way with words. So like when I saw him at that industry party and I was, you know, with people, he's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you since when? Like, you know, since that. He's like, we had fun, didn't we? In front of mad people, and I'm just like, oh. I'm like, you sneaky son of a bitch. Like,
wow, that's crazy.
Like people,
that's
like,
fucked up.
Yeah, he's like very vague, but like it just makes you curious. Like, what does he mean?
Yeah, well, and
when my manager knows the story, like how it happened, like, but like when you say things like that,
that's what I was gonna say.
People question my integrity.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Wow. So I wonder, you know what, like. When it's like the fake news thing. Like when you kind of just, I fucking didn't want to go here, but goddamn it, somehow he does it. But like when you create that, like, oh, we had fun, didn't we? And then it's like, like, oh, what aren't you telling me? You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you create that, like that doubt, that's like, and I don't know this dude, so I don't want to, I can't speak on him personally, but in that situation, it's like, that's some sociopathic shit. Like that's some like, whoa, like you might really have an issue. You know what I mean? And that
fake news, bro.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It is. And they attack people like Nelly and Bill Cosby, you know. And either way, it's like they did that, it's fucked up. I'm not sure if like either of them was proven yet or not, but if they did that, it's fucked up, obviously.
Right.
But they're just making them seem like such bad people, which they are for doing that.
Oh man, don't get me wrong.
But like with Jared from Subway.
Yeah, right, dude, right.
What he did with little kids, and it's just like. Yeah, that happened. Moving on.
Right?
Yeah. But Bill Cosby was like, you know, it was the talk of the
town. He was a fucking horror. He was on the paper fucking like his eyes all fucked up. Like everything's wrong with him. They have him on the paper and they're just. I don't want to defend him either, but they really drove him into the ground before we even knew anything.
Yeah. And the dude's like geriatric and blind. Like,
right.
Like, he couldn't defend himself. Like, at least Nelly could say
like Nelly could
up.
tweet like, "Well, I didn't fucking touch that girl." Or you know what else is crazy? Like Trump after that still became president. Like now they want to pull Harvey Weinstein's name off shit, and I'm like, but we still have Trump as the. Like we're gonna forget about. And don't get me wrong. Like, at one point, I didn't like when you watch like porn, like the casting couch shit. You don't realize that it's fucked up until you get a little older and you're like, oh, like you put someone in that situation and made them make a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like I used to just look at it like, yeah, why wouldn't she have sex with him? He's a fucking billionaire. But then I'm like, no, you kind of corner a woman and you give her that ultimatum, like, look, you want to be powerful and rich and you want the nice things that come with this life, you got to go through me.
Yeah.
Then it's just like that's.
And then on top of that, they're like, well, if you don't, I'm just going to tell everybody we did anyway. And then you denying it.
Right.
So who are they going to believe?
That's some crazy shit. And that's also like, I guess, like not white privilege, but I don't know what to call it.
That's like elitist.
Yeah, right. Right. Like
anybody could do that if you have the power.
You know what's also crazy that I was thinking with. It's not even necessarily the power. It's like the money. Because I was looking at this the Vegas shooter. And even just today, I'm watching the news and they're talking about we're trying to find a motive on why he did it. He gambled up to $1 million a day or some shit and $100,000 an hour, and he was very wealthy. And then you see the guy's brother on the fucking news, and he's like, "Oh, but he owned a house and he was a gambler."
Yeah.
Like this doesn't make. And I'm like, "What are we like? Are we forgetting what happened?
What
like, what
did?
the fuck do you need
Yeah.
You know his motive? It was just to kill people. It was no like, he was just fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not.
But we have it's so fucked. Like it's like, oh, we don't really know. Like they're giving him a chance to
Right.
make him innocent.
Oh, he was on
his
fucking
case.
antidepressants and all that shit, and I'm like, hold on, man. Like,
Meanwhile, Tamir Rice is shot, and it's like, well, he had a toy gun. What do you expect? Okay,
and I said the same exact thing. I'm like, when a fucking black kid is shot in the streets, they pull up a picture. If it happened today, they'd pull up a picture of fucking him with his cigarette in his mouth from 2001, and everyone would be like, look at him, he's a thug. Like, just that fast. And you know what else is crazy? I'm going to tell you some fucked up shit. And like I said, I was going to wrap this podcast up, but I don't have anywhere to be. So when you get tired, just stop me. But I was in the car with my son. We're driving, right? And a fucking cop I just happened to see him in my mirror. And for a second, I was like, oh shit. I swear to God, this was within the last 2 weeks. I said to myself, damn, I have my son in the car. I was thinking, I don't want any fucked up thing to happen with a baby in the car. I swear. And I'm driving and I was like, all right, if he pulls me over, I'll just roll all the windows down. I swear to God, I was thinking, I don't want him to see my son fidgeting and the motherfucker just shoot up the car. And I should never, ever have to feel that feeling.
It's fucked up.
You know what I mean? I should never have to feel that feeling. And when I see this shit that happens with, the flag, and I'm like, this is why it's fucked up. When you perceive someone as a certain thing, you just label them. I'm like, damn, if the cops shoot up the car, they're going to be like, the crazy shit.
People will be like, this is why we're kneeling. And then
other people, and the fucked up thing, and I started to think, with my son's mom, we don't exactly have the best relationship. So we've been through court and in and out of time. But I was thinking, they'd pull up fucking the court transcripts or whatever. They'd be like, he's been to court with his son for 8 times. And I was like, it's fucked up. They'd paint me as a bad person. You know what I mean? And it's all, I don't know where that should come. That's why I say, I don't know if it's I don't want to call it white privilege, even though it's a little bit of that and elitist, but it's the money. A guy fucking he shot over 500, almost 600 people, which is an astronomical number to me for one man from a hotel room. And he shot into a that takes some sick motherfucker. And it's no reason, I don't want to, when I see this guy on the news, I don't give a fuck that he was a professional gambler and he owned 3 homes and a yacht, and I don't want to see his girlfriend. This guy should be make a terrible example out of him. You know what I mean? Make people afraid to be that person. But I guess that's what we live in today. But you know,
And I'm curious to see like what the future holds with, you know, just the political climate and you know, it's like all this shit. Like,
I don't know. I'm afraid.
Me too. Like, well, so like it's either something is gonna flip, like, yo, we cannot go down this path anymore, and then everybody's gonna band together and make the world right again, or it's just gonna keep going down and down and down.
You know what?
But either way, I think again, not many people realize we're at a huge turning point in history.
Sure,
we're living through it.
100%, 100%. And I feel like I felt like a tragedy would bring us together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like when I saw this shit, I was like, all right, it'll be something to bring us together for a while. And then I saw, like, I'm watching the news and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I haven't heard shit about the victims. Like, I don't know shit about them. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're focusing too much on this guy. And then it still separates us. You know, and then all the shit with the NFL. Still, right now, like what we just talked about, and me feeling that feeling, people would be like, yeah, but still, you know, it's the flag. And I'm like, but you listened to nothing I said then. You know what I mean? So I used to feel like and now I'm like, I don't even know if tragedy will bring us together. Like I'm really afraid for it. And I was talking to you before the podcast, for the listeners, I was saying like, we need the World Cup. we need the whole country to just be behind one thing.
The World Cup is always the happiest time. Like always, you know, everyone always gets together, gets hype, you know.
And I'm going to tell you though, I don't think that would save us, because I feel like, the U.S. players were like, nope, we're not going to kneel.
There's only one thing that would save us in this case, then. Aliens. Then we'd feel like,
wow.
Like
You're actually fucking right.
Then it's like, oh, we are all
the same. Right.
We're all together. And depending if they're malicious or not, you know, how they go about their...
See, this, I'm going to tell you, maybe I'm getting fucking dark here, but I feel like it would be a choice between like, blow them up and like, hold on, talk to them. And we'd divide ourselves again.
And the people in power are the type to blow them up.
To just blow this shit up. Yeah, I'm good. But to just blow this shit up, you know what I mean? And then we'd be like, I can't believe we went to war with fucking aliens from wherever. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I think they'd have to aliens would have to come here and start sucking motherfuckers up like they do in the movies. And that would be the only thing to bring us together. Other than that, I don't know, man. But it's cool to know, one positive thing about it, it's cool to know that there's still people like us that are out there, and we're still regular. We still want to live our lives. We still have feelings. You still want to fucking work out and pursue your dreams. You know what I mean? We can still sit here and have a conversation. It's good to know that there's people. And that's what I want my audience to be. And that's why I knew I had to have you on the show. Because I'm like, this fucking guy gets it. And I never knew you were so spiritual until fucking Facebook. So sometimes you hate social networks.
There's some good.
You got to like them for shit like that. And I also saw you doing muscle ups, and I was like, I gotta get back in the gym. This motherfucker's doing backflips on canyons.
I remember when you first brought that up, because it's like we were cool, like, you know, it's like, yeah, we're coworkers, like, and you know, we get along. But then when you brought up the muscle ups, and like, you know, that you like admired that, I'm like, yeah, he likes me. Yeah.
Like, all right, like, we got something in common. There you go. That's hilarious.
It's funny because I was just watching.
Oh, that's your boot. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
Damn, I kicked the guy's leg. That's fucked up.
I told you you're gonna hurt me. Well, but I was just watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
With Larry David. This shit's hilarious.
I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, the new episode.
I haven't watched anything yet.
And his black neighbor is like, he goes to him for like, you know, just let me know how to stay hip. If I'm doing something that the black community find like uncool, just even like the way I walk or anything, just like, you know, corny, just let me know. You know? And it's funny because, you know, like people really like that, like when they go, my man, you know, to like their black friend. It's like, oh, they're trying too hard to like, you know, like they be like,
yeah, I gotta tell you, it's funny as a black dude that shit, to be on the other side of it when I'm like, bro, don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see a dude and he's like, what's up, brother? I'm like, brother, don't do that.
You know what's funny? It's like they're starstruck. It's like being starstruck.
Wow,
like
that's
they
funny
change
shit,
up
like,
the way they...
That's hilarious. You know, but you do have to, and that's why the world's fucked up, because people stop having that group of friends. Yeah. Like, you need a black friend in your crew. You need that shit for balance. Like, I couldn't, and I look at it the same way as, You have to talk to I have to talk to an old white guy. I don't want to be. You can't be too far out the loop because I know my neighbor, Pete. He's like I don't know, like a 60-plus-year-old white dude. We get along great. Like we're cool, and I know that I need to he needs to see people like me. He needs to know when he walks in and see me in Dunkin' Donuts, like. I don't fucking have a AK-47 in my that doesn't that's not realistic. Like this isn't.
Even though he's more likely to. But.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's exactly what I mean. Like we need that balance to be like, yo, those stereotypes and shit. Sure, there's something to them, but no, you know what I mean?
Like innocent till proven guilty.
Like if we were leaving here together, we got pulled over. Like, where you guys coming from? Like, bro, what? We were just recording a podcast. You know, like, what did you think we were doing? Fucking mugging old lady? Like, this isn't weird. This is America in 2017. That shit is out the window.
But then he'd be like, you smell like weed. And then look at you.
I'd be like, well, you're on to something there. Like, well, about that, you got me. But they seriously have to. That's another thing about LA. I like that you could just walk into it. Where is this shit? Right here. And this wasn't planned for the podcast, but I just thought about it.
Oh, nice. Fucking...
You gotta have...
Your doctor's recommendation.
The doctor's recommendation for the medical marijuana. You have to have that. Like, we need that here. I think that's what's gonna save the world. That's what's gonna bring us... That's what's gonna bring us back together.
It'd help the economy, too.
If you could... See, if we could go in and we see each other at the dispensary and we realize, like, we all smoke weed. Yeah. It's all good. Maybe that would bring us back together. And that, I don't want to sound like a hippie, but, like, real shit. Like, because other than that, I don't know, Miguel. But,
neither.
All right, listeners. It's been real. Miguel, I want to thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. I'm not kicking you out, but I'm just ending the show. You got to, show business. Yeah. But no, seriously, let the people know where to find you. Give out your Instagram so they can see you doing pull-ups and push-ups and watch your road to recovery. Or your Facebook or whatever. However you want people. Oh, your Twitter. You're on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm just getting used to Twitter. I never use it, but I should. My Twitter at Miguel is Miguel. And my Instagram is Miguel, which is just Miguel with a W.
Gotcha.
The first one. So.
And I quick side note also, I don't remember how we started talking about Twitter, but I remember when you first followed my Twitter, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I was like, this is gonna be, because social networks were still like, it wasn't this mixy.
Yeah, and it's like you're being like, people don't know who you are.
Yeah, so right. Until I'm pretty much me when you see me, but I'm like, This is like, Twitter is sacred, bro. Like, can we be Facebook friends first? Feel each other out. But I'm definitely glad that me and you got cool, bro. But as I always say, people, fuck what your horoscope says. Follow your dreams. And always remember that somebody may have the keys to your house and be there waiting for you at 3 a.m. I'm out. Wait, whoa. Something big just happened in the world. Like, I was just going to say it was a big moment for hip-hop. No. It's much deeper than that. I was just talking to Miguel. We were talking about, I don't know if anything could save us, and I think we just got saved. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you got to love Twitter, because you can watch the fucking world change right before your eyes. So when I'm on Twitter and I'm just waiting and shit starts trending, topics are real. And I'm like, oh, Eminem's trending. And I click on it and I see this shit. I'm way ahead of the culture. Like, I'm way ahead of the curve. Because this shit, Eminem just put out a cipher. I'm going to just play it and you hear it for yourself.
It's the calm before the storm right here. Wait, how was I gonna start this off? I forgot. Oh yeah. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not, but that's all I got till I come up with a solid... Got a plan and now I got a hatchet like a damn Apache with a tomahawk. I'ma walk inside a mosque on Ramadan and say a prayer that every time talks, she gets a I'ma stop. But we better give Obama props, cause what we got in office now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust. And while the drama pops and he waits for shit to quiet down, he'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops. Intensity's heightened, tensions are rising. Trump, when it comes to giving a shit, you're stingy as I am. Except when it comes to having the balls to go against me, you hide them. Cause you don't got the nuts like an empty asylum. Racism's the only thing he's fantastic for. Cause that's how he gets his rocks off and he's orange. Yeah, sick tan. That's why he wants us to disband, cause he cannot withstand the fact we're not afraid of Trump. Walking on eggshells, I came to stomp. That's why he keeps screaming, drain the swamp, cause he's in quicksand. It's like we take a step forwards, then backwards. But this is his form of distraction. Plus he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada. All these horrible tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers. Then says he wants to lower our taxes. Then who's gonna pay for his extravagant trips back and forth with his fam to his golf resorts and his mansions? Same shit that he tormented Hillary for and he slandered, then does it more. From his endorsement of banning support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand for the soldier that's black and comes home from Iraq and is still told to go back to Africa, fork and a dagger in this racist 94-year-old grandpa who keeps ignoring our past historical deplorable factors. Now if you're a black athlete, you're a spoiled little brat for trying to use your platform or your stature to try to give those a voice who don't have one. He says you're spitting in the face of vets who fought for us, you bastards. Unless you're a POW who's tortured and battered, cause to him you're zeros cause he don't like his war heroes captured. That's not disrespecting the military. That. This is for Colin. Ball up a fist. And keep that shit balled like Donald the bitch. He's gonna get rid of all immigrants. He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. Well, if he does build it, I hope it's rock solid with bricks. Cause like him in politics, I'm using all of his tricks. Cause I'm throwing that piece of shit against the wall till it sticks. And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more and you're split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this. You. The rest of America, stand up. We love our military and we love our country, but we hate Trump.
Let me tell you something. After hearing that, I'm confident we've been saved, because you can't go against Eminem. And I know you're like, what? Like, it's just, no. It's more than just a rap. You know why? Because that crowd that Trump woke up, that was Eminem's crowd. And as I say on this podcast, lost niggas are always going to find other lost niggas. Because that's exactly what these racist white people are. We got to start calling racist white people exactly what they are. And that's niggers. Niggers with the ER. Because that's the definition. Ignorance. And that's what racism is. Ignorance. So it's time to change the game. And, you know, as far as my rap niggas is concerned, we still gonna call niggas, you know, because niggas is always gonna nig. But for real, like, And that reminds me, like, Snoop Dogg came out and said, Eminem, you a real nigga. And that's what really made me, that's where that comes from in my head. But, like, Justin Timberlake, I used to fuck with him. Like, Justin Timberlake used to be my nigga. But after he agreed to the Super Bowl halftime performance, if he don't plan on, like, if he plans on kneeling, then I'd be like, all right, Justin, good job taking one for the team. And I'd look at it just like Slim Shady just did, right? But if he goes out there and just goes and does his performance like everything's all good, nah, bro, I don't fuck with that. He was on a lot of hip-hop records, bro. And that's what's most concerning, because now I don't know who's who. You know what I mean? I don't know who's who. Like, I see people that I know from school and we're Facebook friends, and I see the shit they post up, and I'm like, no, bro. I thought you was different. Like, what's up with you? That's really how you felt? You should have said that, bro. We had conversations together, you know? So now everybody you got to identify who you are. It's too tricky out here. We don't know who's who. Okay, so Justin Timberlake, you're under investigation as far as I'm concerned. But, okay, so when these Trump supporters were lost, Trump came and woke them up, but Eminem had that crowd before. I'm not the racist, and I'm talking about the lost people. Like Eminem's crowd of, this guy used to talk about raping his mom. It took a certain kind of fucking person to really listen to Eminem. Like, you know what I mean? And then he came around. I respected him as a lyricist, but a real core fan, like the Stan, you know what I mean? That is the epitome. Like, a Stan is a Trump supporter. Like, you just it's way past a fan. When you a Stan, it's real. So when Eminem speaks on these people, even the guy, like, I look at guys my age, I'm like, how do you even feel this way? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what happened to you that you really want to follow Trump, bro? You just hurt. You know what I mean? So when Eminem speaks up, it's like, look, Tom Brady won't do it. Obviously, the NFL. And I love that he said what he said about the NFL. You know what I mean? I love that he was like, oh, black athletes, oh, now they're spoiled brats and should just stick to sports. Like, I love that he touched on that, because it's like, what else don't you fucking see? And when he said he's drawing the line in the sand, like, yo, just make it crystal clear with you. If you're going to be a fucking racist, just be crystal clear in your everyday endeavors and fucking move to wherever you want to be. Like, if you want to be a Nazi, bro, move to Germany, bro. I mean, they don't even accept you there. So, like, you can't even go there. You need to move to your own fucking island. Like, you motherfuckers that want to be on this shit, move to your own island and you can go there and do as you please. You know, go to North Korea, because you probably got more in common than you fucking think. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm, like, with these fucking Trump supporters. I know this is turning into a rant, but with these fucking Trump supporters, it's like, yo, bro, do you want to live like the North Koreans you claim to not fuck with? You know, like, is that what you want to be? Because that's what you're sounding like right now, because he's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, Eminem, man, big shout out to you. I don't know if I'm overdoing it here. See, I'm starting to play it again because I have to watch this a couple times, because this is crazy. I think, and as I was on Twitter, and let me tell you, see, I'm going to go into some other shit about how fake news, whether we accept it or not, Trump has us thinking about fake news. Like, Trump has me questioning the news, and I'm like, damn. Even though I said he was crazy, like, with some shit, he'd be right. And that's what fucks it up more. When I'm like, damn, you know, when Trump has a point, you know, you fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, if Trump made a good point against me, I'd be like, damn, I fucked up if he was right. You know what I'm saying? So I see The Onion, a news site or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Yeah, like a news source, I guess. They put up, like, Eminem is obviously trending right now, and it's right how it happens. I mean, it's right as it happens. So people don't even know about it. People are still clicking on it to see why. And they put up a headline, Eminem terrified as daughter begins dating man raised on his music. Like, don't fucking go after clickbait right now. Like, this is this shit that I'm talking about. When someone speaks on something, people just go looking for headlines, and that's what's fucking it up. Like, that's what's making people lost. And just because you're like, oh, wait, people can be victims of fucking, you're just throwing ads in front of their face and they actually believe this, and everybody's doing that, and that's where the problem fucking got out of control, and that's why this was able to happen. So, like, you shouldn't spread rumors that you don't know anything about. The news has to be held accountable for what they do. Like, it seems fucking stupid and petty to be saying this. You know what I mean? But I look and I see, like, damn, you going after a clickbait when he speaks on what needs to be spoken on? Like, if we're not even going to respect when someone actually speaks out and does things right, which I get why people would say it wasn't, but like, that's how he had to do it. Like, when people say, oh, stick to football, this is how they have to do it. They're football players. If they go out and fucking march, nobody's going to care. But if they do it on what you know them for, that's what makes the difference. So for Eminem to do it, rapping at the Hip Hop Awards, it was like, oh, it's just so perfect. It's like, that is how he had to do it. So if we can't respect that and for the message it is and just spread it the right way and address it the right way, then don't fucking do it at all. And that's all I have to say about that. I knew, I joked about it with Miguel, like, let's try not to talk about Trump. But this is one where it absolutely is one for the good guys, like, and we should celebrate this moment. And, by the time this shit gets out, I'm sure people will be trying to put their spin on it like it is. But hopefully this is the moment that brings us back together and wakes everybody up. Like, I was listening to Jay-Z a couple minutes ago, watching the part 2 of his Rap Radar podcast interview. And he was saying, like, wow, there's people being arrested for weed and the government is making money off of it. And he was like, everyone's just okay with that. We're just cool with people being in jail for weed, and you can get it. You can walk into any place in Colorado and get it. You won't get it from a fucking gas station at this point. It's a 7-Eleven. So people are still in jail for that, and we're just gonna ignore that. So it's good to see that we're stepping back in the right direction, and shit is hopefully, things will get cleared up. But I must say, I'm glad, and I'm glad the podcast was running, because I've been feeling down in the past couple weeks because I don't know where we're headed. But this actually makes me feel a lot better, and I hope it makes you feel a lot better too. Good job to Eminem, and we're gonna end here on a good, positive note. But thank you, Slim Shady, back to save Gotham. And I ain't gonna give you that shit about your horoscope. Just go stream some Eminem. I'm out. Listeners, whatever you're listening on, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go rate this. So if you're in the iTunes store, go ahead. If you feel like I deserve 1 star, go for it. But if you enjoy what you heard, go ahead and give that 5 stars. And if you're on anything else, like this and share it with somebody who you think needs to hear it.